Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. I'm here with the review for the Family Empire Houston. How are you guys liking the show so far? How did y'all feel about episode 1? I don't know if y'all was watching it. I didn't really get a lot of feedback, but my video was late too, so that could also be part of the reason. But the show it's okay. It's not drama filled and extra, but I think we needed a change of pace. And I really do hope the show does well because people keep saying that they want more positive content and they want to see Black people doing different things. So this is it. So let's get into the show and talk about the things that happen. So we open up the show with Nicole getting ready for her day. It is 4 a.m. Her hairstylist is there. I believe the hairstylist's name is Kendra. I told y'all before last week, this show got a whole bunch of people on it and a whole bunch of names. And I'm going to do the best I can. But y'all know how I am with names. Shoot, Ready to Love. I be saying names wrong up until during the final episode. So she's getting ready for her day at 4 a.m. The hairstylist is super extra, but she's funny. She was just like, girl, yeah, you look like Beyonce in the morning. I woke up like this. I said, girl, you go get your tip. You ain't got to tell no lies, but that's the mark of a good hairstylist. They got to pump you up. They got to make you feel good. So she giving her some wine curls. Then she asks Nicole, can you make me some breakfast? You know, I be struggling early. Oh, gosh, y'all, I was laughing. But seeing her get up at 4 a.m., A, was a lot. But B, just having the coins, because you got to have the coins available for somebody to come do your hair at 4 a.m. while you sip your coffee and get ready for your day is I'm going to keep working, y'all. I'm going to keep working. But she's talking about, I get the vibes that Nicole is probably one of the hardest working sister cousins in the family. They're going to keep reminding us about the sister cousin thing. I get the sense that she is. She looks like she's very serious, very no nonsense. She ain't really laugh a lot when Kendra was playing all them games. Her husband is working on a night cruise, so he doesn't get home till a little bit later. Their schedules are topsy-turvy. When he's coming home, she's leaving for work or getting ready for her day. And then when she arrives home, he's already left for work. So they've been missing each other. But yeah, I get the sense that she is very hardworking and she's about her business to the point where maybe she doesn't open herself up to a lot of playtime or pleasure. And that's probably going to be a point that they bring up in the show, just as far as I'm seeing, so far. Let's talk about her husband, Larry. Now, I'm hoping that how do y'all feel? Don't y'all feel like they preparing us for something? I feel like they're preparing us for something. We've watched enough reality shows. We've watched enough things to know when we're being prepped. And I feel like we're being prepped when it comes to her and her marriage. I'm really praying they're not going to sell out their marriage for TV. I hope they're not going to do that. But I do believe something has happened in the past with them that they're prepping us for. Now, I don't keep up with the blogs. I don't keep up with all of that. I keep up with the show. I was the same way with Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is why I stopped reviewing it because I couldn't keep up with the blogs. So maybe something has already come out about Nicole and her husband, but I definitely feel like they're prepping us for people to come out and say information about them or a side piece or side, and that could be on either one. But something is going to come out about the two of them. I feel like they're prepping us for it. They talk about their schedules. They talk about just how they are. Like she said, marriage is a lot of work, and Larry says they're a work in progress. And I think most marriages, most relationships are a work in progress. You never stop doing the work in your relationships. And so marriage is a different form of a relationship, a lot more serious, a lot more bonded, legalities and things are involved. Children are involved. There's a lot more work to do, but it's not bad work. It's still good work. It's just work. It's not roses and butterflies every day. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Hell, I ain't married, so I don't know. But let's move on. Can I just say, I love the granny so much. I love Oscarine. I just think she is so sharp. And I don't know exactly how old she is. I would imagine she's in her 80s, and she is walking around there, getting straightened up. They got an event coming up. Is this like a family event center they have? I've been wanting to start something like that. But she's with Jamisha's mom, And Jermisha coming there again, y'all. She gonna talk to Granny about this land of death. We already know that's the main storyline. And by the end, Granny gonna give him the land. But she tell Granny, like, I understand you looking out for your 5 kids, but do you really want to give it to them kids that bad? The Granny said yes. No hesitation. Yes, I do. Because I got to take care of mine, and then they gonna take care of you. This is how the generational things work. But Jermisha is trying to convince her, like, you all worked so hard. You did everything that you were supposed to do. You did the right things. That Granny was a hustler. She would take for sale signs out the yard so nobody else could outbid her. But she just went out and bid on it. And she knows what Jermisha means. She knows that she can see it being, $1 million property or whatever, growing into a lot of money for everybody. But she really wants to think about her children first and make sure that her children are okay. But she does tell Jermisha, I might just go ahead and keep it, which is cold for that. Ain't a yes, but it ain't a no either, which Jermisha is satisfied with. I really identified a lot. I know they're using Jermisha as like the storyteller. It'll get smoother. I think it'll get smoother as we go. Right now, it just seemed like she just be bringing up stuff out of left field and they just be looking at her. Because she was getting emotional and the mama and the grandma was just looking at like, now what we talk about now? We talk about the land. But I think it'll get smoother as we go. But she's talking about what a lot of people have been through. Sharecropping the land, having to pay cash. That's how we got our land. My great-grandfather and his brother, they were sharecroppers. And they were able to purchase the land what they had in mind was that we would continue to be a family that farms and lived off the land. Now, we ain't really, my great uncle was probably the last person that did some farming, and he has a very bad back. And so he is done with that life. But my brother claims he about to start a garden again that we gonna see, because my brother be talking, y'all. My brother be talking. He just be talking. So we gonna see what he do about it. But that was, of course, the goal they had in mind. But we still have the land. Nobody's sold out. There was I do believe it was a bank foreclosure situation with somebody. But that has probably been the only thing major that's happened. And that's more so on the edges of the property, I think somebody tried to buy it back from the man who bought it. But, y'all, he ain't selling. He ain't going. So, that's our neighbor. But besides that, everybody who lives there is either family or family adjacent, very close family friend or something like that.
And when Jermisha found herself
it's all
getting
still in the family.
Emotional, I did understand because, when I was younger, I really didn't appreciate the fact that we had land. I just thought that we lived way out in Timbuktu. Nobody ever wanted to take me home from a game. The road that we lived on was very windy, and, you kind of had to get your lights on bright. The county didn't give a damn that we lived back there. We didn't have any street lights. It was really dark. And nobody wanted to take me home. And I would always get so irritated, like, why we always got to live back here? I wanted to live in a suburb like the rest of my friends, and I just wanted to live in a regular neighborhood. I thought that that's where it was at. Now that I'm grown, I now realize there are HOA fees, and there are people who tell you what to do with your property, and you got to deal with neighbors and all kind of other issues that I didn't know about. I didn't even have to deal with. I didn't even know you had to pay for water until I was about 23. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that water came from the city. We didn't have city water. We had well water. So I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. But now that I'm grown, I'm grateful. And I realized the sacrifice. I realized the dedication. My great grandma was always really good with telling me about our family. And I realized what a big deal it was back then to have something left over for your family and to be able to keep it. So I can see where the emotion comes from. And hopefully they'll be able to smooth out the storyline. But Oscarine ain't going. She not going. You're going to have to really drive a hard bargain with her because she's worried about her kids. So what you trying to do with this property, Jermisha? So Kesha is not meeting up, but Kesha is on a little date with her partner, Caramel. I ain't gonna forget her name. They're going to get some food, and they're talking about Kesha's situation with her sisters. Now, we learned that she didn't even meet her sisters until she was about 7, right? Or they were around 7. Either way, they didn't know her since birth, all right? So she was introduced to them later through her Aunt Jackie. What it sounds like to me is, y'all know how I go. Y'all be having the daddy go and do some other stuff somewhere else. And the mama is just like, look, that ain't my child. So, whatever he want to do with that, it's up to him to introduce them. It don't happen. You get one of the sisters, okay, of the daddy, step in and be like, you know what? I ain't finna be not doing for my nieces and my nephews. So they go over there, they get the other child, and they introduce the child to the family. I've seen that happen a time or two or 13. Sounds like what happened with them. Now, what usually happens with this is because older people, we tend to think that kids are very adaptable. Kids like to play. They going to get along fine. Everything is going to be fine. And that does work for a time. That works when they're children. But once they really start getting into the ins and outs, you start feeling maybe some of the feelings of your mother. You start growing up, experiencing different things. You might have people asking you questions. You ain't got the answers. Your daddy ain't got the answers. You start to feel a little differently towards that other sibling because now y'all taking on adult stuff, right? Now you growing up. So her and Caramel are talking about their relationship, and Caramel's just like, are you tired of sweeping it under the rug? And she was like, yeah, I'm tired. Keisha's tired. We also hear Nicole talk about this with her husband. I actually forgot to mention it, but they both know that they need to sit down and have a conversation, but it needs to be without everybody else because Nicole don't want to hear no jokes and laughing from Jamisha and Jaquita, and Kesha just knows that it's time to put those things aside. Like she wants to move forward. She wants to feel like she is actually a part of the family, especially since her mom's gone now. Caramel says, well, hopefully when we get married. I said, I know that's right, Caramel. Don't let her have you on the line. Okay, this ain't no lifetime partnership. When we get married, my sisters will be there and your sisters will be there. Keisha talking about, I've been looking at rings. Don't be, don't start. Okay. And it don't take that long to look. Figure out what you're going to do. And go and put the ring on the girl finger. Okay, so next we see Auntie Nikki, who we were introduced to before, meeting with her sisters, Cheryl and Charlotte. Now, according to the family tree, it looks like Charlotte has one child named Brooklyn, and Cheryl doesn't have any children. But Nikki is the youngest. She does have 2 children as well. And Nikki seems to be kind of in the middle. She not quite old enough to rock with Gen 1, but she's not young enough quite to rock with Gen 2 all the way. I wonder when Oscarine and Frank, when they had Nikki, she seemed like one of those, y'all know them babies that you have in the family, like right before you hit perimenopause. You ain't mean to have her, but you had her. She was nowhere near planned. You be like, damn, I thought I was about to get up out of here. But anyway, yes, so Nikki, I thought she looked very on par with the nieces and nephews, like the older ones. So she's talking to them about the deal that they are trying to make with Grandma about the 2 acres of land, how they are trying to liquidate all of her properties because it's very important to Oscarine that her children get their inheritance while she's still living and while she's able to see it. So what she would like to do was originally liquidate the largest property because it had the largest tax debt and pass it on to the children to pay off their homes. And of course, the children are with it. Charlotte is just saying, listen, this is how it goes. It goes from generation to generation. Each one takes care of the other. And they kind of interrupt in the natural order of things, trying to get the property. Now, if they're getting this property, are they trying to get it at, they want to give it to them? And Nikki is just like, well, it's fair market value. Now, I ain't really, your mama don't give too many discounts. Well, we talking about maybe $1,000, but prices are going up. So we ain't talking about just giving somebody something. They definitely are going to have to pay for this land in some type of way. But prior to them having a conversation, we see them getting things ready inside of whatever this business is. It must be some type of event center that their family owns. And Nikki is talking about they've always worked. They've always had to do stuff, even when they not getting paid, because it's been the family order of things. Charlotte is complaining that she ain't retired like Cheryl and she can't be coming down there. I got a full-time job. We know how this goes. We know how this goes. So Nikki is just talking to them about the situation, and it doesn't seem like they're 100% opposed to it. Again, the numbers just have to make sense. Okay, at this point, we learn that Kesha and Nicole are the same age. Now, I do this. Let me not start cussing. Okay, let's examine this here. The fact that they're the same age, it doesn't. Now I know why they have the relationship that they have. Now, when they was little girls, it probably was just, okay, this little girl, she my sister. She came over here to play. We not thinking nothing about it. Now that we grown and we realize that my daddy had a child by another woman in another household, right around the same time that I was being born, another woman was having a baby. I'm sure their mother, no matter how good of a woman she tried to be, and no matter how much she tried to hold it, you can't tell me that something didn't slip out. You can't tell me that her demeanor even might not have been different around Kesha. And the fact that the aunt is the one who brought Kesha around and not their father, yes, there are some hard feelings here probably. Kesha says that she doesn't want to continue to feel left out. She doesn't want to put on the facade that she is so hard because Nicole told her, I didn't know you needed us. I didn't know you felt not included. And forgive me because maybe I didn't create the space for you to feel included, but you would be with Caramel's family. I just assumed you was good. And Kesha was like, I wasn't good. And I don't want to put that front on no more because I do need y'all. The conversation went a lot better with just the two of them than it would have went with their cousins involved. Nicole gets very emotional talking about the death of her grandfather and also the lack of emotional response that she tends to get from the daddy. Kesha can relate to that. Like their dad was very much a provider in her household, which is another thing they bring up, but not emotionally connected at all. She says that he did the best he could. Her and Kesha both say he's been blamed for things that, that wasn't really his fault. I would like to explore that a little more. She says that she often felt guilty because she felt like she was raised better than Kesha. And Kesha, I think that offended her a little bit because a lot of people assume that just because you had the dad home with you, me and my sister talk about this a lot, my older sister. She was like, just because he was in my house doesn't mean that I had a better upbringing than you. It doesn't mean that I was getting all of these things that you weren't getting. But I ain't gonna tell too much of my family business, child, because I was about to tell y'all some stuff. But she always states like a lot of the stuff that I got was only because my mom was around and she made sure they were enforced. Not really because it was on the heart of a certain someone to do. And we talk a lot about that and we've shared a lot and we've gotten past a lot. And I'm grateful for my life. I'm like Kesha, I had a lot of love in my life, so much love. I've told y'all before, like, honey, sometimes I'll be like, less, give me less. But no, I'm grateful. I've had so much. I've had such an amazing support. I don't know. It's been wonderful. It has truly been wonderful. And a lot of times people will try to get me to like go back to certain spaces and I don't need to, I just, it's not something I need to do. I often say like, I'm cool with where the relationship is. I don't need anybody to do anything extra. If you're uncomfortable with our relationship, that's on you. But I feel fine. I feel fine about it. Because I know I've been the daughter that I'm supposed to be. So anyway, Kesha is just kind of looking like, you didn't need to feel bad for me. And Nicole was like, okay, well, that was my bad. That was my bad. But she does stay in her confessional, even though I had the person in the home. It don't mean that I was getting any more than you was getting as far as our emotional connection. So they share that. I felt bad for them both. I felt bad for Nicole because she holds a lot of stuff in. And obviously she has a lot of feelings towards the situation. I felt bad for Kesha because I still feel like she's not being heard all the way. She's not a very vocal person. You kind of have to feel her out and really be patient. But it seems like when people get around her, they're able to express how they feel and what they want and what they need. And she just kind of sits back quietly and maybe agrees and she chimes in. She's not a big personality, but she still has feelings and she still has things that she would like to say, but it might take her a little bit longer. I feel like Nicole got hers out. I don't feel like Kesha did. What do y'all think? The ladies have a conversation with, Jermisha has a conversation with Jaquita, and she's just telling her that she recently talked to Granny, and Granny's talking about holding off on the sale. They're talking about the problems that they're going to have from G1, and Jermisha says that she knows exactly what each person is going to say, like what the pushback is going to be, dividends, money, but they're trying to prepare themselves for that. Jermisha says that originally she was the one who really wanted to move forward with developing the property, and Jaquita jumped on because she told Jaquita to jump on. And so now they're both really involved. I relate to Jermisha so much. Maybe it's because I am the oldest great granddaughter. I'm not the oldest great grandchild though. But the oldest great granddaughter. Everybody is getting older. My mom's line, God bless them, but I don't really feel like they have a lot of like vision entrepreneurially. And I'm not even saying that I do, but I would love to create something that could be in the family that would benefit the family. But I have a lot of fears surrounding working with my family. I don't want anybody trying to run over me, take advantage of me. Everybody, of course, is not going to be employed by me. I don't even know who I would go into partnership with, because for so long, my family has just been about living there. Creating anything near us would be like a distraction. It would be maybe possibly an annoyance to everyone, depending on what it was. And I got a lot to think about, but it is something I would like to accomplish in the next couple of years. Like, I want to come up with something really soon. I actually like that reception hall thing they got, because that's not constantly busy. I don't know. I'm just thinking, but I relate to Jamisha a lot. Now we see one of the cousins, I forgot her name, but the body was bodying. Body was bodying. I'm telling y'all got me 3 seconds away from going to call Sonabello and getting one of them, 360 whatever BBLs, because I'm in the gym, but when you're in the gym, you start losing weight everywhere. And I'm really working hard. That's all right. I'm gonna keep my body. I love myself. So anyway, the bodies was definitely bodying. Sis was, she had it in all the right places, but was real snatched in that waist. And I know genetics can do that, but not for most people. Not for most people. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So she kind of flirting with the stretch people that they gonna have for ladies' night. I love that they have a ladies' night. And we found out he married, so she kind of back all of that up, but she's still looking. So during the stretch party, y'all, they said Dramisha was over there sounding like she was about to have a baby, and I hollered because she really was. She was being dramatic. But when you don't stretch, that is how your body feels. And if you can get somebody to stretch you and push you to limits that you wouldn't push yourself, it's really gonna feel. I have disc problems. I feel like I'm talking to y'all a lot today, but I have disc problems, and they're old things that happened in the past. But I can tell the difference between when I consistently stretch and when I don't. My back gets really tight, my glutes get tight, and all of that plays a part into like your workout, how your muscle builds, how you feel every day, your posture. So yeah, stretching has helped me tremendously. Like times where I thought I needed ibuprofen, I really needed to just lay my ass down and stretch. So it does help. Then we move into conversation amongst the ladies. One of the topics is the land. So Auntie Nikki says that G1 believes that her mom, wants to get the land to us. And so they want to hold off on all conversation about the project. Jamisha tells Auntie Nikki, no. Don't matter what G1 said. I talked to Grandma myself, and she said that she wants to hold off on selling the land to anybody else because she might sell it to us. So Nikki is just looking like, oh, well, excuse me. I mean, that ain't what I heard, but okay. I'm the go-between, so I guess I'll go between and get this straightened out. Next they asked Kesha if she would be interested in coming in on some of the conversations that they're having as far as like seminars coming up and things going on within the real estate group, which I'm glad somebody asked Kesha. Kesha says that she would love to come to the home buying one. And they start getting in her business like, oh, so are you buying a home? Are you buying it with Caramel? Is marriage on the table? Kesha talking a little slow, but it's on her vision. Let me tell you something, Kesha, don't act like these boys. Don't act like these boys. Okay, make an honest woman out of Caramel if you want her. We don't got time for this. The last conversation is actually between the ladies. It actually started earlier with Jaquita talking to her husband, but then it kind of catapults into the ladies having a conversation about Chris and his contract. And Chris tells Jaquita, Nicole always want him to do what she want him to do. But when it comes to his contract, he can't get what he needs done. Jaquita say her name is Bennett and she not in it. I feel like she gonna regret some of this, maybe. But we gonna see. But Chris is just on and on. My contract this, my contract that. And Nicole tells Jaquita at the party, listen, we always gonna be your family. He ain't always gonna be your husband. Did y'all see Auntie Nikki tap her on the shoulder like that? That's enough out of you. That's enough out of you. And I was just like, ooh, child. Ooh. I mean, that was it. I understand what she's saying. Like, family is forever. But is it? Your bloodline is forever. And like they said, we always gonna support you. We always gonna have your back. I get it. I'm always gonna be your blood relative. And I know spouses and it probably wasn't a good statement to make. I have a feeling there's some extra animosity somewhere between Chris and specifically Nicole, but they also seem like they chummy with each other. So I don't know. What is that? What y'all think that is? I don't want to get no rumors started. So cool. Jaquita obviously doesn't get offended easily because she's just like, well, if you think about it, she right. I said, child, don't say it on camera, Jaquita. Don't say it on camera. Jaquita is just like, you know what? She right about that. I try to stay out of it as much as I can. I'm not going to tell Chris anything that y'all said here. He going to see it on TV anyway in a couple of months, and I'll be in trouble then. But as for right now, I'm not telling. So that's the conversation the ladies had. Then they start talking about finances and, not mixing, telling Kesha, don't be mixing no finances and make sure you don't never tell such and such how much you got. And now these women, I don't plan on marriage myself, but these women right here, I do like to listen to women who got their money straight. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I do. Because I aim to be I would like to be a wealthy woman. I would like to be a wealthy woman. I would like to possibly foster or adopt. You see, I'm talking slow. That's a maybe. But I would like to be able, even when I started doing better just at work financially, I was able to go home more. I was able to do stuff for my grandma. I was able to do stuff for my mom, stuff I never was able to do before. And, just having the means to do that was very helpful. And I don't come from a lot of means. So, I just never imagined how helpful it could be. So I would like the help. I would like as much of it as possible. But of course, I know relationships matter too. And honey, I'm always good at building a relationship, child. I build up these little tribes, whatever city I go to, whatever city I move to, a tribe will be created within 3 to 5. So I thank God for that. I thank God I'm able to do it. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, that's what's going on with the girls. Let's see what's going on with the guys. The person who brought me the most joy in this conversation was Larry. Larry was so damn funny. He was just over there cackling, listening to Chris and Justin talk about this family and working for these women. And see, that's what it is. Y'all knew who y'all was getting with when you married them. They were sitting there talking about how the women run this show from Oscarine on down. That's how it works. Even with her, that is how it works. So I imagine Grandpa Frank probably was, helped with the money, but Oscarine ran the business and handled the finances. That's what I'm thinking happened. So y'all knew who y'all was with when you got with them based off of the grandmother or the great grandmother for some. Y'all knew who y'all was with. So what we not about to do is get up here and get to complaining like these women done changed. Sounds like they always done been like this. And Larry was like, despite my schedule, I am so glad I do not have to work for this company. And that's the smartest thing to do. Working with your spouse, it can be done. I've seen spouses do it, but there can sometimes be like those issues that come up. It's easier if the woman is working for the man versus the husband working for the woman. That usually can get topsy-turvy. But Justin handles his business. He thinking about starting a team within the group. And he tells Chris, like, you sit here talking about Nicole and all of the stuff she's done in regards to your contract. But let's talk about the fact that I called you. I don't get no calls back. I don't get no appointments set. So you don't always be handling your business. So if you're going to talk about them, let's talk about you. And that's what Larry just over there laughing. He getting his life. But Larry is smart. Stay out of that business. Have your own money over there. It don't matter if it's not as much as Nicole's money. It's yours. It's somewhere you feel comfortable, and it's somewhere you thrive and you can feel good within yourself.
You ain't got to be working for the family business if you don't want to, Larry. That's probably the smartest thing you can do right now. What did y'all think about the episode, though? Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.